Welcome back. A pair of economics professors studied the relationship between expensive marriages and divorce rates. Andrew Francis Tan and Hugo Milan discovered a connection between the cost of marriage and the likelihood of divorce. This also extended into an inverse correlation between the cost of the engagement ring and the duration of the marriage, especially if the ring costs more than $2,000. I have a sign. It's one of my smart-ass signs I hang in the window at my office, and that reads that a good divorce lawyer is cheaper than a bad marriage. It's true.
My name is Patrick Nolan. I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Missouri. This is Pat Talks Law.
So here are some divorce tips from a lawyer who's been through a couple divorces of my own. And practiced in this area for a number of years. First, make sure the marriage is over before you hire an attorney. Yeah, I get several cases a year where one of the party files and then they start talking about the dissolution with their soon-to-be ex-spouse, and then they decide that they're going to get back together, they dismiss the petition, and they want to work on their marriage. Okay. Perhaps that filing was the wake-up call they needed, but it was an expensive one. So make the decision before you file. Educate yourself. An attorney, counselor, pastor, any other advisor, talk to them. Okay? Get your financial advice from a financial advisor. Talk to a therapist if you need to talk to a therapist. Talk to your pastor, your priest. Okay? Talk to anyone that can advise you, a financial planner, your accountant, okay? But understand that none of them are ever going to care more about your life than you do. You need to get out, learn the process, learn what's going to happen legally, emotionally, financially. Okay, hit the internet, do your research. Take what you've learned and ask a professional about it. Ask your lawyer about the legal process. Take what you've learned and see, how this is going to happen. Talk to your financial planner about the legal process. See if this is what's going to happen. Talk to your therapist, your priest. Okay? Understand, you're going to grieve in this process. And I'm talking to you, tough guy. I've been there, I've done that. You're going to grieve, expect it, keep control of yourself. You need a plan. Okay? Where are you going to be after this divorce? How will the property be divided? Who's going to have primary custody of the kids? And what is visitation going to look like? Are you going to have every other weekend? Is your spouse going to have every other weekend? Is it going to be every weekend? Are we going to swap week and week? Get an idea of what it is that you're going to want and what it is that is going to work best. Okay? And then figure out what steps that you're going to need to take to ensure that you get what you want. Talk to your advisors on that. Let's set out a plan and do it smart. 4, stop being a dick. Look, you and your spouse have problems. That's why you're getting a divorce. Something has happened. Okay? Divorces get very, very expensive when one or both parties aren't done fighting yet. If you want to fight through a hired gun, you can do that. But it's going to cost you and your spouse a lot of money. Your assets aren't going to get divided amongst the two of you. They're going to be divided amongst the 2 lawyers representing you. My family will appreciate that. Your family won't. Remember, this is the person that you married. Okay? This is the person that you had kids with. How are you going to co-parent your kids after your attorney just shredded your spouse on the stand? The uglier that divorce is, the harder it's going to be to deal with each other afterward. 5, love your kids more than you hate your spouse. Look, let's not pretend that most divorces, the passion and love that brought you together just goes away. That doesn't happen. But it does turn dark. It turns into distrust and loathing and hatred and fear. And as passionate as your love was, That is as deep as your dark side is going to go too. But if you have kids, you have to set that aside. Okay? They're going to love their mother. They're going to love their father. And you are a right asshole if you do anything to interfere with that. Okay? Just like you supported your friend, you know, the one that moved in with a stripper and then got married, or you supported your other friend who, you know, decided she was going to leave school and follow her boyfriend into the military. They've been married for 20 years. Yeah, great. Just as you supported your friend through their choices for significant others, you got to support your kids. Okay? Anything you say about their mom or dad is a knife straight in the heart of your relationship with them. Don't do it. Don't call your lawyer every time your ex farts in the wind. Look, the reason you hired me or another lawyer is because we are not emotionally invested in your relationship. Don't try to make me or another lawyer emotionally invested in your relationship. Every time you call me, that billing clock is running. Every time you call to say, hey, can you believe what this bitch did? Or can you believe what this cold-hearted bitch did? Every time you call us and you say that, man, understand, it's costing you a lot of money. I'm not your therapist. Your lawyer isn't your therapist. We're your lawyer. Okay? I'm not going to help you work through your feelings. Your lawyer isn't going to help you work through your feelings. We collect evidence and we rip people apart on the stand. That's it. I'm a hired gun. That's what lawyers are. We're hired guns. And we are the wrong person to expect to get all touchy-feely. We'll sympathize with you. We'll feel for you. But we're not the touchy-feely person. We are the person that goes in and destroys the other side. If you need a therapist, talk to a therapist. 7, loss is a part of divorce. Okay, you're going to lose friends, you're going to lose money, you're losing your spouse, you're going to lose some time with your kids, no matter how this works out. Okay, and you are going to grieve during this process. I've mentioned this a couple of times. It's true, I've been through it. You're going to grieve. Talk to a therapist if necessary. Talk to your priest. Talk to your pastor. Okay? Talk to your financial planner. Look, you're going to lose money. Talk to a financial planner. Talk to your accountant. Okay? Talk to the people you need to talk to get yourself through this. And let yourself grieve. 8, protect yourself. You need to take the steps to protect yourself as soon as you make the decision to start. Get a post office box. They're not that expensive. Change the passwords on your email, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. Change passwords on all of your social media. Change passwords on everything. Change your security settings. Do not delete evidence. Don't go deleting things off of your Facebook account. You can't do that. I can't advise you to do that. But change your privacy settings and stay the hell off of social media. I can't tell you how many cases are won and lost on Facebook. One of my smart-ass signs is, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What you put on Facebook comes out in depositions. Again, it's true. Stay off of social media. Don't post anything about your relationship or your ex. Chill out. Your ex is going to introduce a new fling to your kids soon enough. It's going to happen. Don't go beating the guy up. Don't claw her eyes out. Take pity on that new fling. They are making the same mistake that you did. And you know how it's going to work out. You've been there. Okay? Support your kids. And to steal from the song, Let It Go. Let it go. I'm not going to sing it. But you did. And the more people that care about your kids, the better that is. Let it go. They're going to see someone else. You're going to see someone else. You're going to have to get past it. Yes, it's going to be hard. You can do it. And then finally, please, for the love of God, don't start the process of your divorce. Go to the attorney and say, look, I just want it done. I don't care about the property. This happens several times a year. You know, I have to have a come to Jesus talk with a client who just wants the divorce done. It's taking a little while. It's difficult. They've got their emotions being drugged through the ringer, and that's going to happen. It's part of the grieving. It's part of what we talked about. But they just want to give everything up to be done. Look, it may not matter if you're talking about $5,000, $10,000 in total assets, $5 grand, $2,500. Just screw it. That may not be worth the heartache or the expense to fight over legally. But when we're talking about tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, fight for what's yours. Or get the hell out of the way and let me fight for what's yours. That's the lawyer's job. You need to work on grieving and getting through this process. Let the experts do their jobs. Let your lawyer do his job. Let your financial planner do theirs. Let your accountant do theirs. We're here to help. Let us. You know, this has been 10 tips for getting through a divorce. There could be so many more. But the bottom line here is divorces require planning and attention. If you can't do it yourself, hire somebody, hire a lawyer. You're going to grieve in the process. And I'll tell you, as kind of the last bonus tip, it is a lot cheaper for you and your spouse if you've talked about it and you can agree. If you've talked about it and you can agree, this can be done for, you know, could be even less than $2,000. If you can't agree, it starts getting expensive. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and hit the alert button. If there are other subjects, other topics you'd like us to address or you think we should address, drop a note in the comments, send me an email, and I surely do appreciate it. You have a good day.